Hey, and welcome in, everybody. It's Saturday morning. It's time for Gardening Inside Out, coming to you alive here from Bates Nursery and Garden Center and the Green Room Studios here at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. Welcome in. Hey, it's going to be potentially a planning procurement kind of.
To that point, we really had almost no runoff, and it's been dry since that point. So there's some showers in the area, and we'll take them. And so let's just get into the forecast and talk about the days ahead. Today's Saturday, the 26th of October, as we sneak up here on the end of the month. 69 degrees. Warmer still, 81, 61 on Tuesday, 82, 67, and then we begin to cool down a bit as we move into the chance of showers again for next weekend. So all in all, really nice looking mild October forecast as we get into the Halloween weekend or week. It is what it is. But it's a mild day. And we are grateful to have the temperatures. It's 0 at Bates Nursery. Apparently, our temperature is offline. It is in the 60s.
It's pleasant.
Really not going to be a lot of temperature fluctuation today. It's going to be quite a pleasant day. Put a light jacket on. A little rain jacket will be plenty sufficient.
Oh, yeah.
Fortunately, there are ample opportunities for shopping indoors, depending on where you shop.
Yep.
So we're always glad to talk about that and what's going on in the garden around Middle Tennessee and beyond, Josh.
And beyond.
And this is the point in time where we need to bring in the rest of our capable panel of experts here. Caroline Gant, Austin Lowen, welcome in, guys. Glad to have you here today. And of course, across the way, Tyler Blankenship keeps us all in line, in check, and on the air.
Where are you?
And I turned off my camera to save resources.
Tyler!
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Buddy, you just made everybody sad.
People love the Tyler cam.
I know, but we were having some stream issues, and I just couldn't risk it, so I had to sacrifice.
Another
You
of
sacrificed
our
yourself.
upgrades we are working on here at Bates Nursery is our connectivity, and it's any kind of an endeavor that you're working in, whether it's a business or a home environment, it seems to perpetually be a target-rich environment. So there's never any shortage of projects to work on, and for us, that's on the list. Our IT guru, Ken Sanderson, and I had a discussion this week more about it. He's been doing work on it. Questions?
Well, I'm doing great. It's a wonderful day.
Wonderful.
I've got nothing but fall color on my brain. Okay?
It is gorgeous right now.
Around town is, I told Tyler yesterday, it is peak week. I think this week is the week of peak fall color.
I think you're right.
I mean, I was like.
And it's not weak.
What?
It's peak week, not week.
Okay.
Oh, right. Yeah, It took me a second.
Okay, I get it.
It took you longer, though.
It did. So what we're seeing is a lot of the trees and shrubs and all the things, they still have like a good amount of volume of leaves, and a lot of them are changing colors without dropping off. Okay, we're having that cool nights with warm days, so those leaves are kind of staying on, and the color is fabulous out there right now.
Yeah,
is
it's
it
a
not?
great
I mean,
fall.
y'all driving around. I've seen people, and my wife, my little brother yesterday, we were talking about fall color. Like even people that don't care about plants all that much are like seeing the fall color around town. And
The autumn blaze is in full blaze.
That rainfall that I referenced earlier was the difference maker. I mean, the cool nighttime temperatures are, of course, another big component of it. However, getting that moisture in the ground really saved our foliage and kept it from the desiccation from occurring and dropping off prematurely. So that's given us fall color that didn't look very promising 6 weeks ago, to be certain.
Yeah, what a great point. Like you said, 4 to 6 weeks ago, we were talking about the dogwoods and how they were just getting crispy and not looking good, showing fall color early, dropping early, all that stuff. And then, like David said, the rain came, and it's like, okay, now they've decided that the dogwoods are gorgeous. Everybody thinks the dogwoods bloom in white in the spring, and that's great. They do. But this fall color this year of dogwoods is great. And there's so many other things around. The sugar maples. Oh, y'all. working green to yellow to orange up top. Like, there's nothing better than that.
Sumac. This is
Sumac is
blazing this year.
Blazing. Hey, let's give a shout out to sassafras. My gosh.
Oh.
Our native sassafras around here, they are in full fall color. What a great plant. Whew.
It looks like fall in here.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We'll talk. Right, David. Just in time for spooky night. So that's what's on your brain.
That's what's on my brain.
Is that it?
Well, I mean, pretty much. Like, yeah, kind of. I'm
So, are we dismissed then, or we got other stuff?
I don't know. Hey, closed circuit to the showrunner. We're getting a couple of comments about the sound quality. So.
Oh, sound quality.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
So.
Well, this
might
might be
hear us.
related to some of the issues I'm experiencing.
Get out.
Tyler did work in here yesterday and streamlined his whole area over here, and it
that's
looks
probably
fantastic.
And it's
going on.
amazing.
But it looks fantastic.
Yes, it does.
Cleaned up his desk, everything. Tyler, you're just killing it, man.
Always killing it, but
I'm
especially
also
yesterday.
killing the live stream.
No, you're
Well,
not.
No.
You're not killing the live stream.
But for what it's worth, I sense no connectivity issues from my perspective. So we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah.
You know,
So let's go ahead and get into some questions.
Okay.
Are y'all ready for it?
People have
do
them.
that.
People have them. Yes, they do. Quite a few. All right. What's the best evergreen to use as a visual and road noise screen?
Well,
Wow.
there's some options for that. Y'all definitely know I'm a juniper fan because our native junipers are cedar trees that we call them. Not technically cedars, but they are what we call cedar trees are technically junipers. Y'all know I love those. Okay. They're native around here. They're dense.
Yes.
Evergreen, they were not affected by the 2 year ago freeze we had that was awful. And they didn't get affected at all.
And there's nothing that's going to stop the sound of air brakes, folks. I mean, it just doesn't happen. Or the boom, boom going down the road. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom,
So what you're hoping for is attenuation.
Yes.
You're really not going to eliminate it, but you certainly can reduce the impact from it.
Absolutely. But I like the cypresses and the junipers myself. I really do. I think and if you put them in the staggered hedges like David likes to say, I think they actually deflect the sound better than in a solid straight line.
And it also just
Interesting.
looks better.
Yeah.
I think, anytime you can avoid a straight line, I think it's nice. And then, incorporating, say, deciduous trees or whatever along the line.
Oh, I love that look.
Yeah, I mean, the deciduous flowering plants with evergreens around it is always a nice look as well, depending on your budget, I understand.
Just come on out.
Well, that's
you could
the
go
thing.
wild.
Yeah, there's a lot of options for this.
There are quite a few. All right. Well, you did mention arborvitae, so let's go ahead and get into an arborvitae question because we got a few. Should I be concerned about the insides of my arborvitaes turning brown? We get this all the time here.
Every single year. And this is the every single year annual shed of arborvitae, and that's what it does. And as long as it's doing it on the interior and not the exterior, then you're doing okay. Okay? We talk about, like, say, pine trees, if we didn't have pine trees to drop their needles this time of year, we wouldn't have pine straw
That's right.
to
I love
use as
pine
mulch.
straw. I love using that.
Now that I think about it, why don't we use arborvitae as a mulch?
It
would be
seems like
cool.
it gets
If you had-
mushy.
If you had really small beds, something where you could use a very fine particulate type of, it would be nothing wrong with it. There's just not a huge supply of arborvitae needles like there are pine straw needles. So it would be a lot more costly. But the whole thing of it is it occurs as a direct result of lack of light, and the plant needs the light on the outside. And when those needles on the interior part of the plant no longer are receiving a sufficient amount, the plant says, let's get rid of those. We're just wasting energy. We're going to put that towards new growth on the outside next year. So that's the way that works.
Yeah.
That's right. I know Ben Trest, one of our landscape specialists here at Bates, he likes to leaf blow them
Ooh.
Yeah, he does. That's a good
get
way to
all
clean them up.
the deadness out of the center.
Yeah, that is a great way to clean them up. It's
fun
if
to
you have a
watch.
lot of that. Yeah.
Just
Instead of
don't
getting
try
your
to do
hands
it
in
when
there.
the foliage is wet.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Get
do it on
little
a
bit
dry
gross.
day.
So our second question about arborvitae, we did already answer, but I do want to go ahead and read it, just if the person is watching. We have 5 fairly tall arborvitae that have a lot of brown spots. Will they come back?
Brown spots is a different scenario. I'm assuming I want to see it. I mean, I'd like to see why the brown spots are occurring. This was a big bagworm season for arborvitae. We were no exception to that. We had a nasty infestation in the back where we have arborvitae planted as well. So if it I want to know if it's bagworms because that typically doesn't really come back all that much. You kind of have to prune that out and wait till next spring for new growth to flush around it.
Right.
So if you could send us a pic, I'd like to see it because that's a touch interesting.
It is a touch interesting. And if you
But
want to
almost
email us,
But almost certainly it does involve the removal of that dead part in there because if it is truly completely defoliated in spots, it's not going to flush back out. So do a deep prune in there, take that whole limb out, the whole branch out. It'll
Waste it away. Take it
grow
away.
back in around it.
Yep.
take it on out. But if you want to email us a photo, you can send it to gardeninginsideout@gmail.com and we can take a look at it. You can also send it to us over Facebook or Instagram DMs. So whatever works best for you, but we would love to see a photo of that issue. All right, how about this one? Is it too late to plant a crepe myrtle?
You know,
You have like a theory about planting crepe myrtles this time of year,
well, I
right?
kind of do. I mean, if any other, I mean, a lot of other plants, I would say, especially deciduous trees like a crepe myrtle or a deciduous shrub, depending on, what size you buy it. I would say it's totally fine this time of year, but crepe myrtle is a little bit different. Okay. They can suffer from very cold winters and freezing damage and just cold weather damage in general. So for me, if any other plant, I would say go for it. But with crepe myrtle, I'd say, you know what? Why don't we just wait till the spring on this one? Let's plant it in the spring. Let's have a full season for roots to develop, and then let's go through that cold period instead of planting it now and having to go directly into a cold period to where we could see significant dieback.
And they're always available. I mean, so
We always have crepe myrtle.
Yeah.
We always have a ton.
You can't come out here and not find a crepe myrtle. I mean, we almost always have them. So
I mean, it could happen,
that's my theory on that.
but it probably won't.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because I plant most stuff in the fall, so that's good to know about crepe myrtle.
Well, I know, me too. Like I said, but crepe myrtle is one of those things I think I'm going to wait on.
Okay.
Yep.
Maybe one day I'll plant another one. All right, we did some shout outs from both Cherry and Jane Ann Gibbs, so I want to go ahead and read those. Cherry says, I listen to the podcast every week without fail and heard my name today. What fun. I live in Franklin and would drive twice as far to Bates if necessary. Ryan helped me buy my first cherry tree for my 3 acres. Lots of room for more Bates plants. 10 trees and shrubs arrive next week. Thank you for your great products, great service, and most importantly, friendly, knowledgeable staff. Congrats on Best of Nashville. Of course you are.
Yeah, thank you. That is a sweet comment.
That is. I love talking with Cherry when she comes into the houseplant area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's a great one.
Very
As are
sweet.
all of you guys. Yeah, very sweet. And then Jane Ann Gibbs says, good morning, fellow Bates Nursery and Garden fans. Check out that Bates Trifecta H sale. Hellebores, Heuchera, Hosta. Picked up a hellebore Friday to add to my hellebore patch in my front yard. I need to get on that. I need more hellebore in my life.
Do you?
Yes.
Yes.
They're
got-
awesome.
Yes, I
Perennial.
do.
I have to do road repair on the highway to Hellbore. I really do. I lost one.
Are they going crazy? Oh.
No, I lost one.
How did you
No.
lose one? Too much sun?
No, I don't think so. I just August.
Just August.
Because the other 3 are fine. And 4.
We just went super dry.
Yep.
Yeah.
How long have you had those in the ground?
This will be again. This will be 3rd season in the spring.
Have they spread much? They go so slow. I want a whole grove of them. That's why I need to plant more because
You should
They're
see my
going too
daughter's
slow for
yard.
me.
Yep, and that bed of hellebores is probably 12 feet in diameter, and it's just amazing when it's full going.
Happy hellebore.
Yep.
Hey, that's great.
It
You know
is.
what, though? The Heuchera, what a great deal right now for fall mixed containers, y'all. Popping Heuchera. I know, Caroline, you're a huge fan of this. Using Heuchera in your mixed containers as like your filler material to have some color through pretty much the whole winter, especially if they're covered, like on your front porch or something. They'll stay up all winter.
That's
And-
what I have in my mixed containers, and they do. They stay
Yeah.
up all winter long, and they look amazing.
Yeah, and mixed containers can get expensive. They really can. So having a deal on Heuchera is great
buddy.
for the mixed container.
So you know what I did? I popped one huge. We had 1 gallon Heuchera, and this one was like overflowing in the pot. So I got one, and it pretty much filled out the pot. And then I pulled Creeping Jenny up from one of my beds, and that's the trailer.
Is that the plural of Heuchera?
What
Or
did I
is it,
say?
Heuchera? Is it
Heuchera.
Heuchera?
Yeah.
Heuchera?
Heuchera.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the plural right there. But it is, I mean, I talk about it all the time. It's the best. I use it in the fall for my containers and then plant it in the spring. So I have a whole colorful Heuchera bed. And you can get it in almost every color.
Yeah, it's such an easy plant to grow.
Yeah, come see Celeste and get you some. All right, tips on making a crepe. Did you say something?
No, I was going
Josh?
to tell Tyler that Gina says the sound sounds better on YouTube.
Tyler, you did.
Yeah, Tyler.
You know what?
I had to revert back to the old setup so we weren't killing the stream. So.
You guys that are
Stream is
watching
alive.
could not see Tyler behind the scenes for the last 5
He was a
minutes.
mad dasher
He was
around the
unplugging
building.
stuff. He was
Yes.
turning off monitors. He was moving so fast we could barely see him.
He does things we don't even know I certainly don't know
You
what
would.
he's doing.
Me either.
Yeah.
I don't really
I'm
either.
keeping the ship flying, y'all.
Yeah.
Keeping
This
the
ship
what?
is-
Keeping the ship flying.
Ship.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
With a P. Okay.
Yes.
So shout out to Tyler. You're doing great behind the scenes.
you are.
You didn't happen to set up the Tyler cam when you reset everything, did you?
Oh, no.
Man.
Don't put me on blast.
All right, we got another crepe myrtle question. Tips on making a black diamond crepe myrtle successful in mostly clay soil.
Well, I mean, we have a lot of
You
clay
said,
soil around here.
well,
I mean, amend your soil. I mean, that's always super. We have plenty of products for that. We're about to get to that in just a minute.
Yes.
But I mean, if you have heavy clay, what you do is you pull out your heavy clay. You dig your hole, get your heavy clay out, try to chop it up. Try to get it into small bits, and then you use our products that we have to loosen that up and incorporate it into your clay soil and mix that up into a really nice mixture. Get you a tarp laid out and put it out there and work with it. It all starts down below. So if you don't have that right, you're not going to get the top part right. So let's take some time and work on that soil that you've got that's going to be down in that hole with that crepe myrtle. Crepe myrtle can totally live in a scenario like that. But doing your prep work on getting that soil how you want it is really beneficial for that plant down the road.
And they are so pretty. Those black diamonds are gorgeous.
Really nice.
yeah, I love them.
Totally different.
Talk about a perfect segue.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Beautiful.
So if you're planting a
that's
black
what Earth Mix
diamond,
products-
David. Yeah.
That's what Earth Mix products are all about, is about growing plants and growing them with the least amount of effort on the user's part and getting the maximum amount of results. Earth Mix garden products are a 100% organic, and there's a lot of organic products out there today, but being organic doesn't necessarily make it a viable growing medium, and that's where Earth Mix really shines. It is a head and shoulders above the competition, and it's available all over the Middle Tennessee, Kentucky, even in Northern Alabama, Western North Carolina, out in Idaho. We've even got a new customer coming on in the spring in Colorado. So word is getting out about Earth Mix garden products. But the good news for you, if you're in our area around Nashville in the Mid-South, is that it's available at locations all over. Just go out to the website, earthmix.net, and click on the Find Earth Mix tab, and there it will give you a map, show you all the pins of all the locations. You can put your address in here, and it'll give you turn-by-turn directions for the location nearest you, or you can simply zoom in on the pin that is nearest you. If you happen to be in Idaho or near Meridian, Victory Gardens Nursery, it would be that choice. And you can also delve down into Alabama and down at Rudy's Nursery down in Killen. So, and anywhere in between. So check all that out. We really want to emphasize that Earth Mix Garden Products uses only the finest inputs that Mother Nature provides. There's no chemical additives. Supernatural compost is a base product. It is a product in and of itself, but what it also has added to it to give it the extra boost are endo and ecto mycorrhiza fungi. It also has humic acid, plus things such as the mushroom compost, earthworm castings, composted bark, and other media that's going to give you a compost that's ready to use right away. And that compost is also, as I alluded to, is a input into other mixes down the line. So check it out. All the locations I mentioned earlier, make sure you support those folks and ask for it by name. There is no substitute for Earth Mix. Success begins at the ground level when you use Earth Mix garden products. And we appreciate you giving us a moment to talk about that and to help you have success in your gardening without making it overly difficult. And what Austin was talking about just before we went into this little spot here was about getting soil preparation right. And that's really one of the motivations for, if you've got a heavy, hard pan clay soil, it does not mean you can't have success, but it does mean that you're likely going to have to do some things to get that soil in a more friable state when you use a product such as, say, Earth Mix Landscape. And with that hard pan clay soil, you can break your soil up, do about a 1-to-1 mix if it's that hard and heavy, and then backfill with that, and then you're going to have every reason to expect to have success with that plant, whether it's a crepe myrtle or something else. So there you go, guys.
That's right.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Best input, so you get the best output every time.
Absolutely.
So right.
Hmm.
Well,
All right.
Well,
There's other stuff beyond fall color. I had fall color on my brain, but there's still things going on.
yep.
there's some weird stuff going on.
What's in bloom with Austin?
Hey, y'all. What's in bloom?
Hey.
Okay, it's something weird is happening. We're going to get to that in a second. I'm going to tell you what should be blooming right now. Okay, look, I've got plates. These are my leftover plates from my daughter's breakfast yesterday morning. Okay, we had to eat in
You're
the
so
truck. We were running a
green.
little late. All right, so I wrote this down as I was driving down the road. Whew, it was wild. Anyway, so the things that should Tyler. That picture. It's okay. There was a picture that popped up that was. It's okay. You know what?
What?
The things that should be blooming.
The things
Yes,
that
they
should be.
blooming.
What
The
The
mums.
should be blooming?
The mums. Your Sheffield pink is absolutely gorgeous.
It's
It is
peaking right now.
fantastic.
Yeah.
The mums are great. The asters, they're still in bloom. They're native, still going on all over the place. Your pansies are great. Everybody loves pansies. Bush Lespedeza, shout out. And in the office, that plant is beautiful. Y'all really need to think about it. I know I've talked about it before, but nothing else blooms like that. Bush Lespedeza, think about it. Hyacinth bean is that vine that is still going up in purple, looking great. Anemone, what a great little
I
plant.
love that one.
Shade-loving,
Anemone.
beautiful plant. Hard to say, but easy to grow. All right, goldenrod, our keystone, still blooming yellow and doing things for our environment that we need it to do. Hey, Cleome, that wild little weed that nobody can get rid of once you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still going. I saw
I
it.
got rid of mine. It took years.
No,
but I
you got
did
lucky.
Get rid of it.
Okay, you're one of the lucky ones. That's great. Whew, that's a wild one. Anyway, shout out Bridge. Your grasses are still going. We all love the grasses. Okay, you know what? That's out with the old.
Wow.
Okay.
In with the weird, man. What? It's weird. You know what we're doing right now? It's a phenomenon that's happening. This fall, we are kind of mimicking spring. Okay, with these warm daytime temps, these cooler nighttime temps, and we are straight up tricking all these plants out there, okay?
Blast blooms.
It blast blooms. Here we go. Blast off. The Chinese snowball in my yard is blooming. That's a viburnum. It's a beautiful plant. It is literally the showiest blooming viburnum you can buy. If you don't have one, you need one. It's great. Love my Chinese snowball. Why is it blooming now? Who knows? It does that sometimes. Hey, quince on the lot. Flowering quince.
Stop.
I'm not stopping.
Really? Okay.
No. I'm not stopping. It's blooming right now, and I've seen it. And I'm like,
Okay.
what? That's weird. Hey, forsythia, yesterday I saw fall color, like purplish, reddish forsythia with yellow blooms atop of it. And I'm like, forsythia.
Yeah, you're crazy.
What you doing, man? Don't know
Crazy.
why. Rhododendron. Shout out Sherry. Yeah, she's had one for 2 weeks now in bloom. And I saw
bloom.
some yesterday blooming again. Like a lot of blooms, too.
Yeah,
Not
hers
just
is
like
in
a few.
Even more bloom, like
That's
fully
what I'm
in
saying.
bloom now.
That's what I'm saying. I saw one yesterday, so I know she ain't lying to us. Cher, you would never.
She would
And
never.
Miriam,
Shout out
sub-
Sherry Gant.
Miriam submitted an evidence
No.
of Bradford pear.
What?
Dear Vanderbilt.
Wow.
She
Wait
does
a
not have
minute.
that in her yard.
No, that I think
Vanderbilt.
that
No,
Near
it's not in her
Vanderbilt.
yard.
No.
Wait a minute, though. Bradford, but why does that Bradford pear?
And this Eastern
Tyler.
redbud.
Oh, wow.
Where,
Tyler.
the
go
Bradford. Why does the Bradford pear not have leaves? Every Bradford pear around town is still green leaf. That has no leaves, but it's blooming.
It's got a few, but
Got a
not many.
few leaves in there, but oh my
Cut it
goodness. Miriam, I didn't even have this on my list. You just blew my mind.
Wow.
Bradford pear is showing blooms. Why is it doing
Blech.
that?
Huh?
That's probably gonna like bloom this fall and then just like die next year. Like, why does it look like that? I don't
We can
know.
only hope.
Yeah, there you go, Josh.
There you
Uh-huh.
go.
That's cool. Thanks, Miriam. Hey, hello, Miriam.
Yeah, shout out
Good to hear
Miriam.
you.
Good morning.
We love
Yep.
you. Okay, azaleas. And deciduous azaleas. Y'all, we got deciduous azalea in the Batrium right now, blooming right now. It's tricked, and it's blooming. Looks great. Super cool. Hey, lilac. You have one.
My lilac is blooming. And
Why?
it smells amazing. Last night when I got home, I walked by and was like,
Yeah, because that's what lilac does. It's fantastic. It blooms and it smells great.
I'm
But
not
it's
mad
blooming
at
in the
it.
fall.
Yeah.
Super weird. Who knows why? Deciduous magnolias. I saw those blooming the other day. They're leafless. Like a lot of them lost all their leaves, just like that Bradford pear, but they're throwing new blooms. Like, once again, odd. Tyler, throw up the picture of that redbud again. Why in the world would a redbud be blooming right now? That's our quintessential spring blooming tree.
Yes.
Native. But it's blooming right now.
I
There,
got
look at
one.
those. Look at those buds.
I
Down
love
there on the
that.
trunk.
I love to.
Oh, yeah,
It's
right, David,
at
down on the trunk. Oh,
Those are the
that-
prettiest ones when they do like
When
that.
they do
A
that.
little
Yeah.
cluster bloom of pink and purple. That is fantastic.
And they're so good to eat.
Oh yeah,
to eat.
they're
Have
tasty.
you not eaten
They
them?
are. They're delicious.
I've
They're
never
like,
had a redbud
They
bloom.
kind of have like a jelly.
Put it on your
taste.
eggs and more.
jelly and eggs. Y'all, you just blew my mind. I didn't even know I could do this. You know what?
All right, so in the spring, or Miriam, if you want to pull some of those off and bring them to us, we'll have Austin do a live taste test.
Yes.
I'll do it.
And we're not tricking you. I promise.
No. Miriam harvest those things. Bring them to me. We will live
Yeah.
taste test.
Do
eat
not eat
redbud
them
blooms.
until you're on camera, though.
Oh,
You're not
fine.
allowed to taste it before.
Fine, Tyler. Rig up the camera, man. It's going to be great.
It's already
One word
rigged.
of caution for
already
people
rigged.
thinking about that is that if you treat your yard with insecticides or some other kind of chemical,
Systemics in particular.
Mm-hmm.
but if you're not treated with anything, it really is a delicious kind of gives me of the thought of a peanuts.
Yeah, nutty.
somewhat.
I get that
They're,
too.
Wow.
they're really quite tasty though.
Okay.
Tyler,
I've,
have you not tried one either?
No.
Oh wow.
I've
What?
got to try this. Okay.
Okay.
Miriam, we'll see you today with some purchases.
I'll bring
But
you a
don't eat
bushel
all
basket.
your don't
yeah.
eat all your flowers because you want to leave a lot for the bees.
I got one, Austin.
What?
Rosemary.
Rosemary in bloom. Didn't have that on the list, but hey, that's a great one, Josh.
Yep.
Well, and Joyce
There's
has
some out in the lot blooming it. Mine at home are. Yep.
turtle head.
Turtle head.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then Wendy wrote in, which you did mention, but her black tulip magnolia has about 25 leaves left on it and 15 buds. 3
See?
are open.
Wow.
See?
Mm-hmm.
It's blooming at a weird time. It's weird. Blast off, people. It's a blast off time. My clematis, your clematis is
Oh,
reblooming.
yeah. My clematis did not die, and now I love it, and it is blooming. Yep.
You're back loving it. In the summer, you hated it, and now you're in love again.
Well, because I planted it, and then I was like, well, then it died.
No, it didn't. It doesn't.
It didn't
It
die.
comes back. You love clematis. Just admit it. Anyway, and
I
then
do.
also,
I do.
if you cut back your Annabelles or your Incredible hydrangeas after they were done blooming, they are reblooming. Ryan in our
Ryan.
bait trim. Shout out, Ryan. You're great. We all love you. He showed me a picture yesterday of somebody, I'm not sure, someone in his family. He cut back their Annabelles for him. They are reblooming. They're not as big as you would want. They're a little bit smaller, but they are in bloom, which is great. And then Tyler shared with me this morning some of our cherry trees. Blast off blooms, okay?
Everything. My limelights are shooting off some blooms. I didn't prune it or anything. It's just decided to bloom a little bit
Wow.
more.
There you go. So, you know what?
What?
Weird blooms, but blooms nonetheless. There you go.
You did
See
it.
ya.
Send it.
Weird,
Wow.
weird in bloom.
Weird and bloom. There you go.
Weird and bloom. Well, that was great. That
Oh,
was
thanks.
entertaining. Love that you wrote it on plates and
Yeah.
then tossed them at the camera.
That's all I had.
Very You don't have paper at your house.
No.
You have
Leftover
certainly
plates.
struck a nerve with your blast blooms, Austin.
Oh, gosh.
Emily says Irish are blooming in Clarksville.
Really?
Emily.
Joyce is saying her Hanabi hydrangea is still blooming.
Oh, yeah, Joyce, you talk about that weird hydrangea you got. Send
Black
us a picture
tulip
of that.
magnolias from Wendy. Wow.
See?
And then Gina says her Bates Vitex is blooming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Another
Vitex
one.
has bloomed like 3 times now.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Mine's not
Little-
in bloom right
little bitty
now, but
blooms.
it did keep shooting up some blooms.
Uh-huh.
All right, speaking of blooms, let's talk about one that smells really, really wonderful. Gardenia.
Oh.
So we have a couple gardenia questions that were basically all the same. So we're going to roll it all into one. Will a large gardenia planted in a container survive winter outdoors?
No. I mean,
It
I hate
might,
to be
but I
negative.
wouldn't do it.
I don't ever want to be negative. I always want to be optimistic about plants, okay? That's the first thing. You got to go in optimistic. You can't be pessimistic. Be like, I'm going to buy this. I'm probably going to kill it. Like, no, don't say that. Like, it's going to be great. But gardenia is right on the line of hardiness here. And David talks about it all the time, and that's a plant in the ground versus a plant in the pot. Nowhere near as hardy. And gardenia, quit. And gardenia is one of those plants. Like, it's not great in a pot here. In the ground,
Plus-
it's even risky.
Right. We did have someone ask about in the ground. So you're hitting on that now.
Yeah, plus, they're the most temperamental I mean, if you can get it in a happy spot in the ground where it's got a little bit of protection, they can do quite well, but they are not an easy plant to grow. Even if you have it in a container that you have in the house that you move out, they don't like that. They don't like changes in conditions. They like to be happy in a place and don't change the conditions. And every time you do, it doesn't mean they're going to die, but they will react. They'll drop a lot of foliage. They'll drop bloom buds. They're just persnickety.
They are.
That's
What
they
a
are.
diva.
Yeah, they are divas.
Divas of plants. Yeah, they're almost harder to grow inside. Like you almost would rather just put it in the ground outside and let it,
See what happens.
defoliate. Like David said, like
Right.
typically here, it's not going to keep its evergreen leaves all the way to the top. Like that it just does not happen here. Now, does that mean that it's dead? No, not necessarily. You can see regrowth in the spring, but you got to deal with some issues with gardenia over the wintertime. But as a houseplant, like it's so picky inside.
gosh.
You talk about diva. Bring it in the house, and that diva level goes to 12.
Okay.
Just like you.
No.
Well, I will say another shout out to Sherry Gant. She had 2 gardenias forever that she would overwinter inside. And then I believe one winter she accidentally left them out. Now it was under a tree, so it was pretty protected, and I'm pretty sure they survived. She's
Sherry, let us
on the
know.
south side of Nashville. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're watching, let us know.
She's watching.
She's always watching.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We've got some more live questions in on Facebook. Kim asks, can I cut back my peonies even though we have not had a frost?
We talked about this a little
Yeah.
bit last week. Yes, you certainly can. It's getting to the point where it's going to be, we always recommend to leave the foliage up as long as you can until they turn to mush and lay on the ground, and then you can cut them back. But if you're just absolutely over them, so tired of those hideous leaves, then certainly you can cut them back. A peony is such a long-lived, easy perennial. So, like I said, if you're over it, cut it.
It's your yard.
It's
Yeah,
your yard.
it's your
That's
yard
right,
too.
Josh.
It's your
We need to
yard.
say that all the time. Like, should I do this or not? It's like, it's your yard. Do you want to look at that or not?
You can. I don't think it's going to do damage to
It
it if you
won't
cut
at
it
all.
now.
It
I
won't.
think you can definitely do it. And then we got another one from Jacqueline, or I guess it's the first one of the morning. I bought a Froberg spruce.
Froberg, yeah. That's a
Froberg
weeping style spruce, yeah.
Oh, at Bates last week. What tips do you have to make sure it thrives?
Well, spruce does not care about cold. Okay? Let's be honest. Our heat is more like if you were going to plant this in the early summer or something, then they would be a lot harder on you. But since we're going into winter, spruce is totally fine with that. They embrace that cold. They're like, sure, bring it on.
Comes from Canada and Russia.
Yes,
in the
exactly.
lumber
I mean,
industry.
all the way up.
Yeah.
So planting that plant, just getting it in the ground, water it in sufficiently. Don't keep it just soaked over the wintertime. Typically, our winters are pretty wet. So make sure you keep it evenly moist, but not necessarily soaked. Don't keep it on the dry side. Keep it how it, just normally moist through the winter. And then as winter draws on and we start getting wet and cold, like just don't do anything. Let it just latch in. With that plant, it does have lower limbs that can touch the ground. So be mindful of that. Like over the winter, if we do stay super wet, like in periods of time, if those limbs are touching the ground, you could see some like issues with like just literally physically just like mud and muck or whatever that's like on the foliage. So you might want to try to avoid that. But other than that, good job for buying that plant because it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I know I've seen them out on the lot. They kind of look like my
Cobra. Yeah, very
Which
similar
my
to that.
Cobra I planted in the fall, full sun, latched in, looks great in the winter. The 2022 big freeze, no damage on that. It
Oh,
lived it.
no. Yeah, they don't care about
It was
cold.
its time to shine. It was
Yeah.
like, give me more cold temps.
Yeah.
Give me more ice. I love it.
I mean, we don't have any native spruce here, but we have spruce that's naturalized here just fine. Typically Norway spruce. If you're going to, plant a spruce, like Norway spruce has naturalized great here. I mean, I pass like a 50-footer every day going home. Like if you're going to stick to a spruce, Norway's the most tried and true if you ask me. Picea
And they can
abies.
become monsters.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, mine's going to eat my yard. All right, Sherry got back to us, said just one gardenia survived and it's huge. Can I prune it before I bring it in for the winter? And then she says, love y'all in the show.
Oh.
Love you, Cher.
Tell your mama what's up. Can she prune it?
What would you say? I wouldn't.
I mean, unless you have to.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
she
those
says
buds-
it's huge. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
she says it's huge. So, I mean, if you have
I mean,
to.
how big is it? Send us a photo.
Ah,
Yeah.
sure.
You gotta
You
go
know,
see
the other
your
side
mom
of that
to
is
find
it's
out how
because
I'll
big
go see it
it's
in
a
person.
gardenia. because it's a gardenia, we know it's almost certainly going to defoliate when you bring it inside. I mean, it just does. So I don't know that you really lose anything by going ahead. Matter of fact, it may be saving yourself a lot of mess just to go ahead and cut it in advance and then bring it in. Then it's going to push out all new growth and readjust. So that's my take. And the point to this is that there's not necessarily with many gardening questions one singular correct answer. A lot of it is perspective and situation. So,
Exactly.
mine might be different than Caroline's or Austin's, and we can all be correct within our perspective. So if it seems like we don't always agree, it's because we don't.
Exactly.
That's
And
how
that's
it should
okay.
be. And one nice thing about the show and gardening and all of the gardeners I know is we talk from experience. So,
Right.
something might be different for me than it is for Austin, but it's what we know and how we learned instead of, I also read a lot of plant books, but I grow a lot of plants outside and inside.
Yeah, and it's like some of the practices you decide to do, like you just said, Josh, like it's your house. Like some of the practices you have to do out of necessity, not if it's the right time or scenario. Like like I said, that Chinese viburnum that's blooming right now, I really want to make that a small tree form viburnum, okay? And I've let it grow. It started as a little 3-gallon. It's like almost 8 foot tall right now, but super stemmy and sticky and all that. So over the wintertime, I really plan on opening that up, getting it to a, multi-stemmed plant to a foliage atop of that. Now, to achieve this, I'm going to have to ruin my bloom set for the spring. And I know that, but that's okay. I'm still got to do it out of necessity because I don't like the way the form is right now. It's too shrubby, too many stems. So I want to make it a small looking tree. So
I think you should. That
I
will
do,
be
but then
amazing.
I gotta top it a little bit. So goodbye blooms in the spring.
Oh, no.
It's okay though. I'm okay with it.
Okay. As long as you're okay with it.
I'm okay with it.
You're okay with it. Yeah.
Where can we, where could you get a Chinese viburnum?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Hey, I
have no
got a
idea where to
thought
buy
about
plants.
that.
You got a place? You know a
Yeah,
guy?
there is a place. It's this place right here,
Oh,
Bates Nursery and Garden Center, and we appreciate you tuning in here and trusting us to get plant information that's accurate and timely and based on experience. That's what Caroline was just talking about. We all have experience. It's not all exactly the same experience, and that's because just like everyone else, we have a varied array of gardening situations that occur. And because of that, we've got a staff of individuals here at Bates Nursery, second to none. And I will put the experts and the horticulturalists that we have here at Bates Nursery against anyone's anywhere. And I mean that because we're a bunch of plant geeks. That's just what we are, and I can say with confidence, Josh, that I no longer even make the top 10 list of horticulturalists at my own company.
wow.
It's comforting for me because we've really been fortunate to attract and keep a staff of individuals that really know plants, that study plants, that are passionate about their landscapes, be it in perennials or native plants. We have a tremendous selection of natives at Bates Nursery and Garden Center, as well as all other kinds of things for both fruiting and ornamental uses. So October is a time for trees, and certainly this is a time where people need to be thinking about that. We have a tremendous selection of shade trees, and what you're seeing around the studio today is indicative of the amount of range of color that's available on those. Now, if you're a Bates Rewards member, and you almost certainly are,
I am.
you get my newsletter every week, and this week, we're talking about the H's having it, and what that means is that Heuchera, Hellebores, and Hosta are all on sale this week. That's right, 30% off on all of those. And in addition to that, because these are such great plants, Caroline touched on that earlier, that can be used in planters, containers outdoors. Earth Mix Proganics O in bags is also 30% off. So it's a great opportunity to save on these incredible plants and the soil to grow them with outside. And we invite you to come out and see us at Bates Nursery and Garden Center, where we are conveniently located 1 mile north Briley Parkway at exit 19 on Whites Creek Pike. That's just minutes from Rivergate Opry Mills, Nashville West to downtown Nashville. And as Josh will frequently confirm, it's worth the drive no matter where you're coming from.
From everywhere.
Check out our website, batesnursery.com. All of our inventory, 100% is searchable and shoppable online. Now, these special deals that we talked about are only available in stores, so you can't get those online at the special price. So come in to get those. Everything else you can shop right online, batesnursery.com. Bates Nursery and Garden Center, beautifying Nashville since 1932. There's my grandmother right there.
Bessie.
On the screen, and proud to be a third generation and keeping her efforts going on in her memory. She was quite a lady, so grateful to have gotten to grow up with her. You know, getting to shovel manure into a grinder was fun with Nanny. That was called her back in the day.
Whoop your
So.
tail if you didn't get it done.
Yeah.
Well, you did learn to keep your head back out of the way because
Uh-huh.
that old dirt grinder would throw them rocks right back at you. So there was a little
Throw the
little
rocks?
shrapnel
Okay.
involved.
Okay.
Sounds like a wild time. Hey, we got some shout outs for Bates and Earth Mix that I want to go ahead and read. Joyce says, David, you had me at Hellebores. See you later, Austin. Can't resist a sale.
No, you can't, Joyce. I'll
And
see you
then
soon.
Bill Hayes says, we cooked our 2023 popcorn 2 nights ago. Fantastic corn. Knew you'd love that.
Buffalo! Yeah.
Oh, I
Austin's
love
favorite.
corn.
You do. You love corn so much. We have a couple sound bites of you talking about how much you do love corn.
Homegrown popcorn and then popping it yourself and then eating it. What's better?
You're so happy.
I'm
right
very
now.
happy. Thanks
Look
for
at
that
you.
comment.
And then Jane Ann Gibbs says, thank you to Earth Mix as a sponsor of Nashville Public Television. Volunteer gardener.
Oh,
Amazing.
It's always, I know for Tyler and I both, it's especially gratifying to hear that because Tyler, that's his day job at Bates Nursery is all about the marketing, and so thank you to Tyler for doing a great job on keeping us out there
Bravo,
and keeping
bravo.
us
Tyler, you're
connected
great.
with the gardeners of Middle
You gotta
Tennessee.
do better than that. That's
Stay-
a golf clap. Come on.
Stay tuned.
I don't want to hurt
In there.
ears, but
Okay.
snap.
Stay tuned for a new advertisement coming soon featuring Earth Mix delivery.
Hey.
Oh,
Right.
it's a great
if you're,
video. I've
if you're
seen
in the
it.
greater Middle Tennessee area through Bates Nursery, you can get Earth Mix delivered in a super sack.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we invested in a special truck this year that, Josh, you deal with logistical kind of stuff. It takes specialized equipment to point-to-point destination delivery. You deal with it on building materials, and we deal with it on soil. So
You
we've had a
betty.
lot of requests in the past for super sacks being able to be delivered and dropped in one location, and we can now do that. So
Okay.
stay
And
tuned.
That super sack is such a cool thing too. If you haven't seen them, if you go to some places, you'll see that they have sand inside them, but it keeps it clean. You get to use all of the material that's in the bag. You don't waste any. Don't leave a whole bunch, like a half an inch in the bottom of your pickup truck. This is a way to go, folks. I mean,
But don't deceive yourself. That bag is heavy.
Yes, it is.
You're going to be able to drag it around the yard.
No.
You'll have to have a wheelbarrow to transfer it into that, or a big container with handles on it. Works really well also, but it gives you a spot to be able to keep all that together. It saves you some money, and it's the same quality product that comes in the bag.
Absolutely.
So check it out. Super Sacks.
Get some. Tyler will release that video soon. Speaking of releasing things.
Uh-oh.
Oh, release this.
What's in room with Caroline?
So I actually did not do the room yesterday as I was off site most of the day. So Austin got wild with his fall color. When I walked in this
Looky
morning,
here.
I was like, wow, I could definitely tell fall color is on your brain.
It was. That was the whole point yesterday.
It is. I mean, it is fall, and I love it.
Well, you know what? Let's walk through it together.
Yeah.
How about that?
Let's take him on a tour.
All right, let's talk about the corners. What's up there, Caroline? I got a big tree and it's too big, so it was bending on the ceiling. But it's all good. The fall color below it is great. It's a dogwood.
Oh, you asked
Yeah,
me that.
I
was
thought
just
we were going on this tour together.
I was just sitting here smiling.
That's a Cherokee Princess dogwood. Really going fall color, really looking good. What a good variety too. Cherokee Princess, awesome, awesome plant. What about in front of it, Caroline? Look right there.
It's a Japanese maple.
It is.
I know that.
It's called
Is it a
Bihu.
bihu? You didn't let me.
I'm sorry. You say it.
It's a bihu.
It's a Bihu. It's so
It's
good.
such a cute little name, too.
Y'all, the yellow and red and orange sticks over the wintertime. Yeah, it's deciduous. It drops its leaves. So what?
And I killed
it's got
one.
Beautiful stems. It probably wasn't you.
It wasn't. It was a dead return. And I tried, and it kept on. It kept on tanking.
So what I put in the back and what I put in the front is the same. I like continuity. Y'all know that. So what did I bring in, Caroline? Those.
These right here?
Yeah.
Oh, this ruby slipper hydrangea.
Yes, the oak leaf
The oak leaf
hydrangea showing tons of
I
color.
don't have this. I have a few different oak leaf hydrangeas, and I kind of want one of these.
They're really, really nice. Locally grown
Actually,
by.
if I did one, I'd want to do more.
They're locally grown in Murfreesboro by
hey, Cameron.
Matt at
Hey,
Colorburst.
I'm going all over the place. I'm sorry.
Okay, yes.
Way to go,
Colorburst.
man.
Matt's awesome grower, and it's just so nice to support local people that grow stuff. Like it's so
do.
cool. I've known Matt for a very long time. The owner of Colorburst, he's awesome.
Colorburst, when their
As
trucks
have
come in,
I.
I always get excited because their stuff is always so healthy and great looking and makes me want to spend my entire paycheck, which I do sometimes.
Well, that's the thing. It's so affordable too. He's affordable because he's local. He's super cheap to deliver. We call him one day, he's here the next. Like great. It's so nice to support those local people. And then we've got some.
Is it Clethra?
No.
What is it?
Itea.
Itea.
Yeah, Sweet Spire.
Yes.
What a great fall blooming plant. I mean, fall show plant.
Not blooming,
No,
but
And it
not
comes
blooming.
with all the parts too, right?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, all
Not missing any parts from that.
Okay.
And then out in front, like I said, we got more of the same. And then yesterday, y'all, I went on a quest. I went on an absolute quest of Japanese maples, and I'm very upset. These leaves were pristine yesterday when I cut them. Look at them today.
I did warn him.
You did. You told me to put them in the fridge, and I was like, "Nah, Tyler."
Two
it'll be
different
fine."
warnings.
You did.
Oh, not one, but two
But
warnings.
look,
Yeah.
okay, look, they're crispy and shriveled and they're annoying me, but they
there's-
still are showing good color. Look, I was
Yeah,
so
they are.
proud of this yesterday.
Absolutely.
I
You
took a
should
picture.
still
I
be
showed
proud
my
of it.
wife.
No, I'm proud of you too, Austin.
But
Look
look.
at that rainbow. Look at that color grade right down here.
No, it's not any good. Nah, I'm annoyed.
No, don't be
Look,
annoyed.
don't get too close, Tyler. Look at the shrivel. The shrivel is real. The color is great. The shrivel is real. Yuck. Anyway, I did that.
I think everyone right now
this-
is impressed and proud of you.
No, this
not
goes.
shrivel.
This just
It's-
goes to show.
It's dried ornamentation.
Okay, there we go.
you go.
Thanks, Josh. Making me feel better. But this is like 20 varieties of Japanese maple that I collected on the lot, y'all. Hey, fall color is stunning out here right now, and the Japanese maples are no exception. Fantastic. And then, Caroline, oh, wait, I forgot the corner tree.
You
the big
did.
corner tree. Y'all, what you know about Kentucky coffee tree? Huh?
What you
Nothing.
know?
What y'all know about that? Have you ever even heard of Kentucky coffee tree? Probably not. But look at it.
Tell
look
us
at that
about it.
yellow fall color. Oh, it's got
Yellow fall color.
compound leaves, which is always cool to me.
Yes.
Super cool. Gymnocladus is the genus. That's awesome. Why is
Wow.
that awesome? I don't know.
Because it is.
Fall color is great. They get huge. It's an underused tree.
Oh man.
Fantastic. It really is a cool plant. And then, Caroline, talk about our feature plant, the Lazy Susan.
The Lazy Susan, the hot plate. It looks like you brought in Amsonia. Is that Blue Star?
Absolutely.
Maybe.
Didn't even look.
Hold
I had to
on.
grab it this morning.
It's rotating. It's almost to me. But look at that. I mean, the fall color on that. We have talked about Amsonia a little bit. Yoink.
It's just the species.
Oh.
Straight species Amsonia.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Stunning.
You know what's a funny story about this?
What?
Yesterday over the radio, I called Bridget and I was like, "Hey, Bridget, I need something like in a 1 gallon that's got some good fall color. Like, what you got down there that's showing good fall color?" And she was like, let me look around. And she looked around and stuff, and she told me about a euphorbia that was great, looking good. I didn't bring any in, but they were good. And then I go down to perennials to kind of just like maybe grab something, and I see this Amsonia just lit up,
And it yelled
full
at you.
color, and I was like holding it, and I was like, wow. And Bridget literally didn't want to tell me about the Amsonia because she didn't want me to take it so
'Cause
she
she
could
wanted
have
it
it
to
on her
sell.
table.
She was
She
like,
loves
no.
Amsonia so much. She was like, I'm not even going to tell. She was like, I was trying to keep it a secret. I didn't want you to see the Amsonia. So I was like, Bridget, let me have one. We've got like 20. Let me get the one. So I got
me
the
have the
best
one.
looking one, and it's fantastic. Amsonia, y'all, what an excellent perennial.
Now
Yeah.
this,
Excellent.
this
It is
little
great.
Isley yellow bark.
That's the Bihu, Josh.
Oh my gosh, you folks, you just have to. You cannot get the appreciation. Gotta come and see it live.
Mm-hmm.
And folks, I'm going to tell you straight up: if you want to make a statement with the Japanese maple, Bates Nursery is the place to come.
Oh, this is
they
the spot.
have trees out there that will instantaneously stop traffic. They're
Seriously.
huge, all different shapes, different leaf styles, different
Oh.
colors.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Just
We
look
did
at
get
this-
an Isley truck
it's
in.
20. Yeah.
Yeah, just look at this crispy set.
This crispy set.
Crispy, annoying
Check out the
set.
crispy set.
Extra
Don't be afraid.
crispy.
It is
Extra
gorgeous.
crispy. Thanks, Tyler.
You're something today, Austin.
Even the
every
leaf
day.
waste.
Even our viewers are talking about
Even
it.
the
Ah.
leaf waste is cool because it's got an interesting shape to it. So.
It's all great.
So EC on YouTube says Austin is cracking me up this morning. Maybe his coffee was spiked.
No. Coffee
I
is
think
not
you
spiked.
must have a lot of caffeine this morning.
No, not any more than usual.
I think
would-
his struggle is real.
That-
I think
you're
that's-
right.
It's
Tyler.
the fall color.
I didn't take your advice, and I'm mad at myself. Thanks,
Yeah.
EC. Hey, Tyler,
It's okay.
we don't have much time left. Do we need to do pictures
Oh, we
or
do
questions?
need to get
or-
to more questions. Yeah. I was just so into your What's in Rooms segment
Wow.
that I was like, wow.
It's whatever y'all want to do. I'm
I've
just
got a
here.
question to throw out there. Did Miriam by chance share a photograph of her brown-back magnolia leaves?
No.
I don't know.
No.
No?
She sent those to me, and she was trying to figure out whether it was Little Jim or Dee Dee Blanchard or Bracken's Brown Beauty. But anyway, perhaps we'll get that up next weekend.
Yep.
Beautiful dark green foliage with just a velvet brown back on them. Stunning magnolia. And yet another example of what you can get in color in plants that has nothing to do with flowers.
Exactly. Great point.
You can make wreaths out
All
of them.
right, question
definitely.
time.
They
'cause
make
we
an
are running
incredible
out
wreath.
of time.
Questions.
What kind of
questions.
growing conditions does a new common elderberry need? Not sure where to plant.
Ty, pretty much pick anywhere in the yard and it'll grow. Y'all, I weed eat elderberry that just grows
It
everywhere
is-
in my
You
yard.
whack it on down.
I mean, it prefers a good amount of sun. Can it handle shade? Certainly. Like, it's a large growing shrub that can live anywhere. Pick a spot you like and plant it
and
Yep.
put it on there. How about when do I transplant a hydrangea?
in the winter during dormancy. Well, We
Beautiful.
talk about this all the time. Yep.
I've done that a lot. When can I trim ornamental grasses?
That depends on your taste.
I leave mine up over winter and prune them when I see new growth. Learn that
too.
from you.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. I
I've
leave mine up
already-
through the winter too.
I've already seen some trimmed.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Some people hate to see the leftover grass. Hey, it looks like old corn or something, you know?
Well, you
But
love corn.
That's why I leave mine up.
Corn's
Okay.
a grass, though. I learned that.
Exactly.
On the
It turns them into buttons, though.
Yeah.
You know,
It's great.
little grass rocks.
Some people hate to see that leftover foliage that's just like tannish brownish. If you hate it, cut it. It's not going to hurt anything. Cut it close to the dirt. Leave a little bit up, you know, like maybe, I don't know. I usually say like shin height.
Yeah,
I know
that's-
you.
yeah,
It's like a
Height,
German
that's-
word.
That's a combination between Japanese and German.
Josh.
Height.
Tyler, did you say cutting them back turns them into little buttons?
Yeah,
What does that mean?
I don't know. Floor cushions, stools. You know, use your
yeah.
imagination.
That's a good point. My little
Grass
kids could
rocks.
like sit on them.
I
Yeah.
love that.
I
hey,
can see that.
Our next question, I think it's a great question. What do you wish more people knew about gardening in Tennessee this time of year?
What do I wish more people knew?
Yeah, about gardening in Tennessee.
I
this
think what
time of year.
one big thing is, if y'all don't know, y'all, I look at emails constantly with Paula and Rachel in the office and the great folks that work here, and there's people that have issues all the time with stuff. And the biggest thing I think is that we don't respect the processes of nature, and that leaves can look bad this time of year, and there's spots, and spots don't always mean pathogens. Okay, I mean it means something. There's fungal issues that happen, but we live.
Winter's coming.
Yeah, I mean, and we've lived through the season with all of the rainfall, the fungal spores, the bacterial things. Doesn't necessarily mean your plant's dying, okay? If you've got 90% good-looking leaves and you've got 10% bad ones, you're killing it.
Yep.
Like you're doing great. It's a part of, that's something I wish people would just let happen more with nature. If you see insect damage on plants, holes in leaves, that little insect got some food. So it can turn into a beautiful butterfly.
That's right.
Like those little things are part of what the whole ecosystem. We're not keeping things perfectly clean all the time because that just doesn't benefit our ecosystem.
Right.
And one
Gardening is
thing I
not
might
perfect.
add to that is that just for folks to be mindful of that for almost anything, now it's not 100%, but almost anything, fall is the best time of year to plant.
Yes.
Almost without regard to what it is. The weather is working with us rather than against us. The nights are getting cooler. We are eventually going to get more rain. And what all that means is, particularly from a maintenance standpoint, your ease of transition into the ground and establishment in the landscape is far superior to things that you plant in the spring. People are more into it in the spring because they're tired of sitting in the house all winter. But if you can get it done right now, you'll be almost a complete year ahead of anything you plant in the springtime. Of course, there are things you can't plant now for spring, but for the things you can, and that's most woody ornamentals and perennials, and the vast majority, now is the time to do it.
That's such a great point. Like, buy your spring blooming plants now so you can enjoy them at your house in the spring.
Get them established.
Yes.
Yeah. You can buy them blooming here, but why? Put them in the ground and enjoy them at your house, when it's supposed to bloom. It's a great point.
Yeah, this is my favorite time of year to plant. We got some great live Facebook comments in from Joyce. Hooks says, Austin is always extra.
Joyce, don't call me
Yeah.
out like that.
Yeah,
I
we
help
all
you
know
the time.
Austin.
Do it.
He's
Joyce.
always passionate. He's always extra. And I think the fall leaves on the trees right now are really,
They've got me. They
really
got me amped.
pushing you.
I'm up.
And I love
Joyce,
it.
I'm gonna throw those bags of Earth Mix in your car today.
Joyce, look out when
You
you,
look
come
out.
here.
Do you see Risha asking for marital advice?
Reish,
I did not see that.
what you need, Reish?
She wants to know, could you please let my husband know that mums with wet feet all the time equals bad?
Oh.
There's a ton of things with wet feet.
Edward.
Almost
That's
always
some
Some
equal
pretty
bad.
sound math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edward. Come on now.
Yeah. No wet feet with
No wet
most
feet on
things.
mums.
Okay.
They do get really droopy when they get really
Yes.
dry, but they perk right back up if you hit them once you see them dry. So
You deadhead him.
I deadhead mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
oh yeah. I
They're
mean,
fun to deadhead.
Yeah.
You can get a whole handful and then throw them at your friend.
Yep.
Yep, you can do it. And then Alita says, I leave my grasses up all winter.
good for you,
for her.
Alita.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I
I'm
love
with you
the
on
look
that.
of them staying up.
Hey,
all
use
winter.
them for floral arrangements, y'all. It's
Fall
good for
floral
that.
arrangements, yeah.
Fall florals.
Fall
Yes.
florals. Get you some of your hydrangeas that you leave those blooms up
Absolutely.
year round for little squirrel beds. Get you some of that,
Oh, the squirrel beds.
some of that dry grass. Yeah, I brought it back around the squirrel
Yeah,
beds.
you did.
Yeah.
Squirrel beds.
Squirrel beds.
I saw one of the short-tailed Smyrna squirrels yesterday, David. You remember the
Oh,
legendary?
did you now?
Legendary
yes.
short-tailed Smyrna squirrel.
Short-tail. We'll tell that story another time.
We're gonna have to. I guess we're out of time.
because we're out of time for this edition. But
That's sad. I want to keep going.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
could.
this was a fun one.
David says it's time to go.
Yeah.
All right. But next Saturday, we'll come back to the Green Room Studios and we'll
Absolutely.
present to you another hour of this Gardening Inside Out program. Hey, but during the week, you can listen to the podcast. You can view anything anytime you want to over on YouTube and on Facebook. They're all archived there. And hey, don't forget to come out here to Bates and take advantage of the sale. And if you got to do some highway repairs on the highway to Hellebore, 30% off. And
Yeah.
Spukaras and hostas. And so,
All you shade lovers.
hey, folks, we appreciate you. We'll see you right here next Saturday morning at 0800